Hi there, good evening and welcome to JoyNews Prime with me, Razak Musbao. We are coming to you from our studios here at Kokomlemle. We are live also on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125 and around the world on myjoyonline.com. Coming up in this bulletin, Petroleum Hub Development Corporation pushes for 300 million cities for 20,000 acres land compensation to begin infrastructure development.
There are a lot of investors who are knocking at our doors, who are calling us, is a land issue cleared, is a land issue cleared? So we think that is a major requirement for investors to fully come in.
And also Cape Coast authorities begin demolition of weak structures following the tragic death of 2 individuals after heavy rains on Saturday morning caused an old brick-story building to collapse.
As at now I'm speaking with you, this very building, you realize that part of it is where it collapsed. So we are going to make sure by the close of today, we demolish everything.
And it's been 3 days of building dreams, and today it's raining discounts at the first mini clinic at the EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair, which took place at the Achimota Retail Center. We'll bring you a wrap of day 3. We have this and more here on your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Please do stay. Now, the Petroleum Hub Development Corporation is making a push to secure some 300 million Ghana cedis to pay for land compensation to begin development of the corporation. The hub, which was commissioned in 2024, is expected to cost a total of 12 billion cedis to fully build. Chief Executive Officer Dr. Tony Obin first explained to journalists at the ongoing Energy Committee retreat in the Eastern region the scope of the project.
At the enclave, which will be the first in Africa, the first with that full effect in Africa and West Africa in particular. Now, the enclave would have to build 2 jetties and harbor infrastructure. It will also have to help build 3 refineries, 5 petrochemical plants, and storage tank, the tank farms or storage tank for fuel. So we are so lucky to have very good coastal area, a sea area bordering the Jomoro land, which is very deep, can handle any vessel that comes. So our responsibility is to facilitate that. It is not government which is building the refinery. If government want to build, that will be fine, but it is not government. It's a private sector initiative, which is very good for the private sector. It can be good for the Ghanaian private sector, which we encourage to form groups to participate. But beyond that, there's going to be a new township.
I also revealed that the corporation will need some 300 million cedis to pay compensation to fully secure the 20,000-acre land to begin work.
Not for staff compensation. It is an operational thing. It is for compensation for crops and properties on the land that government is acquiring. So we need to pay the people who have crops and who have to be resettled as quickly as possible. And that is not all, but that is the most urgent requirement for us to kickstart the hub, the activities at the hub.
So this is to pay way for the construction of the facility?
For the final acquisition, the acquisition of the land, so that government would have clean title to the land. Once we have the land secured, investors will now be confident to put their monies there. There are a lot of investors who are knocking at our doors, who are calling us, is a land issue cleared, is a land issue cleared? So we think that is a major requirement for investors to fully come in. In fact, we have signed MOUs with some investors, but the MOUs remain a piece of paper just because we haven't fully acquired the land. And the 300 million will help It will not be the total figure, but it will help in the process of government acquiring the land.
To the central region now, where the Cape Coast Metropolitan Assembly has started the demolition of weak and dilapidated buildings across the metropolis. This follows the tragic death of 2 individuals after heavy rains on Saturday morning caused an old brick-story building to collapse in a community known as London Bridge. Speaking to JoyNews, Metropolitan Chief Executive George Justice Arthur said the Assembly has already identified high-risk areas and is moving swiftly to pull down all structures deemed unsafe. He emphasized that the demolitions are necessary to prevent further loss of life and property, especially as the rain season intensifies.
As I'm speaking with you, this very building, you realize that part of it is where it collapsed. So we are going to make sure by the close of today, we demolish everything, the close of today. We have also identified some areas where they are all in a dilapidated state. They are almost in the same state. And we are going to make sure we demolish all of them today. But it will not last only today because there's a disaster. We will make sure that we fight this holistically so that every dilapidated building within Cape Coast that might get collapsed, we will rather demolish it before it gets collapsed. So, security agencies have done so well. The police service, the fire service, NADMO, all of them have done so well. And we will make sure we work hand in hand with them. Collectively, I think we will be able to solve this problem holistically. If not all, we will be able to solve about 90% of the problem.
Meanwhile, the National Disaster Management Organization is urging residents in the Central Region to take flood warnings. Central Regional NADMO Director Kwesi Dawood stressed the importance of adhering to early flood alerts and of safety advisories.
We hope and pray seriously that citizens in and around this area will use today's incidents as a wake-up call to adhere to the necessary early warning mechanisms we have been deploying from time to time to help us in combating these kind of avoidable disasters. We mapped out the necessary flood-prone areas, did extensive public education, where as part of our early warning mechanisms, we activated this mechanism, informed residents living in the low-lying areas and designated flood-prone areas that the information at our disposal from the Emergency Operations Command as well as the Meteorological Service indicates that there's going to be heavy rainfall this year. And as such, we needed them to move to the designated safe havens so that in case there is incidents of flooding, we wouldn't have this kind of devastation.
Now, the former Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, has made a striking revelation about the role religion may have played in the party's electoral performance. Now, in a heartfelt call for unity, the 2024 presidential candidate of the NPP declared he will not contest if it turns out his religious background contributed to the party's defeat. He is, however, urging members of the party to put aside divisions and unite ahead of the 2028 elections. Please do take a listen.
It is very, very important, therefore, that we don't allow people to come in with explanations that are not factual, that are made up, and that divide our party. We are a united party, encompassing people from all ethnic groups, all religions, and we are part of the elephant family. It is therefore very important that we do not allow people, for the sake of political advantage, to break us apart as a party. I'm saying this because recently people are going religious and tribal. People are going religious and tribal. That is dangerous for the New Patriotic Party. It's very dangerous for us if you go in that direction. What is clear and is stated in black and white in the Okwe report, as well as all the other studies, is that religion and tribe were not factors in the 2024 election results. They were not factors. They were not factors. We should not try to inject to say that Christians will not vote for Bawumia. My 4.7 million votes, were there only Muslims who voted? It's not possible. There were all who voted for me. When Fufuo lost, did we say religion? When Mills lost, did we say religion? When Nana Akufo-Addo lost, did we say religion? No, that is not a factor. But people want to make it a factor for political reasons. For political reasons. If in fact that was the case, I wouldn't have contested at all. I would have stepped aside if that is the case, because I'm not a selfish person. I value the party. I'm not. I would have, if that was the case, I would have stepped aside, because I will not jeopardize the ability of the party to win the 2028 election. It's too important. I would have stepped aside, but I don't think that is the case. And people are trying to, without data.
Mr. watching JoyNews Prime. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with more. Please do stay. Hi there, welcome back. Now, the 2019 NACA curriculum for Ghanaian schools, designed to transform teaching and learning with emphasis on competencies and values, has faced challenges with its full implementation. The teachers, as frontline educators, are observed to lack the necessary skills and knowledge to deliver the curriculum's objectives, with gaps in effective knowledge transfer and practical learning in schools. The Ghana Education Service has since partnered brilliant educational consults to engage heads of schools and teachers to equip them with skills and training students in science, technology, engineering, artificial intelligence, and mathematics. Here is a report by Clinton Yabwa.
At the 2025 Ghana EdTech workshop, organized in collaboration with the Kumasi Metro of the Ghana Education Service, it was revealed that students' lessons are still being conducted and assessed with old methods and techniques. President of the Ghana National Association of Authors and Publishers and lead facilitator of the training, John Akwesi Amponsa, says the narrow implementation is leaving learners unable to keep up with the pace of improvements in the world.
NACA came up with syllabus in 2019. Expecting that our schools and our school children will be able to transit into building core competencies, into building values, into learning that they can apply themselves and solve problems. But the teachers who were supposed to drive that change did not have the very skills they were supposed to deliver to the children. This was a huge concern. So this concern created a synergy that brought Ghana Education Service, Kumasi Metro, together with Brilliant Education Consult and Brilliant Publications to organize this workshop to equip teachers with not only the knowledge, but the tools they require to transform the classroom for the learning.
The workshop was themed leveraging AI, digital tools, instructional materials, and innovative pedagogies and assessment models to enhance learning, foster skills acquisition, and improve educational outcomes. The workshop assembled the Association of Authors and Publishers, heads of schools, school administrators, and teachers. The founder of Brilliant Education Consult, John Akwesi Amponsa, emphasized the need to shift to a philosophy of education that prioritizes STEAM and STEM skills.
Education is actually programmed or fashioned to equip learners with the skills and knowledge they require to function effectively in the world of work and in their own lives. Now, given the problems of today and given the issues that are happening, climate change, whatever, you see that our era is problem-driven. And so we cannot continue to rely on traditional education. There is the need to shift to a level of education or a philosophy of education that prepares learners for the future.
Participants were taken through a holistic and broad introduction of STEAM education, focal point of STEM education, which is knowledge, core competencies and values, and comprehensive AI studies, and how to deploy AI to plan lessons. They were confident the training will make teaching effective, especially with the usage and focus on current tools of technology.
People are now naive. You know, the AI world has come to stay. So should this program continue, other people will learn a lot because it's a lot. It's a package.
Most of the schools don't have benefit for the use of this because of the gadgets that they need. Though it's very expensive, but we appeal. Even if it's small tablets, like the previous government started, we encourage and appeal to the government to make those small gadgets available for the learners. If not 1:1, at least every school should have it.
For Joy News, my name is Clinton Yabua.
Now, scientists at the Crop Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research are adopting strategic and environmentally friendly efforts to restore lands and forests heavily degraded by over-exploitation through illegal mining, logging and agriculture. We observe the near extinction of some indigenous crops and tree species in rural communities in Ghana, including taro root crops, mahogany and odum. Under a new project to conserve biodiversity and sustain life, 25 hectares of degraded lands in Ghana and Kenya are expected to be restored while revitalizing the endangered crops. We've got more for you in this report.
In 2022, Ghana lost 18,000 hectares of primary forest, almost 70% increase from 2021. It represented the biggest leap in forest loss of any country in recent years. Illegal mining, overexploitation through illicit logging and agriculture are the attributable causes for the increasing depletion and degradation. Newton Anobo Etuahene is the district manager of the Forestry Commission in Bichim.
About endangered species, we can talk about almost all the indigenous species in the country, although they are found everywhere. But I must also add that the more you are cutting it and you are not planting, you are not replacing them, then almost all the trees are endangered. For instance, now you go to the forest and you hardly get odum, you hardly get cocrodia, you hardly get mahogany, and almost all the restricted species we have in Ghana.
The environmental havoc is seeing some of Ghana's indigenous crops and trees go extinct and others neglected for culinary and medicinal purposes. The situation leaves farmers distraught as Ghana is failing to preserve some of its precious staples. We no longer can find taro crops. There is a local yam known as Entrentre that's also not found. The Crops Research Institute is spearheading the charge to empower local communities to restore degraded ecosystems, preserve biodiversity, and promote sustainable farming practices, and that the engaging local communities in minor crops utilization for bioconservation and livelihood enrichment. Scientists are seeking to promote afforestation and agroforestry conservation. Launched in 2024, Principal Investigator Clement Opom highlights activities conducted so far under the 3-year project.
So we surveyed about 41 communities in Ghana and went ahead to do about 25 or so in Kenya. And out of that, we selected 15 communities and then 10 communities, so 15 communities in Ghana and then 10 communities in Kenya. And these numbers also represent hectares of land. So it means that in total, we are looking at restoring about 25 hectares of degraded lands in both Ghana and Kenya. Since we are also looking at revitalizing marginal or neglected crops in our food system, we've also gone further to collect some of the farmer saved seeds that they have, in their barns. And then what we are doing now at our end is we are multiplying them, which would later reintroduce in the farmsteads that will be establishing within these 25 communities across these 2 countries.
Director of the Crops Research Institute, Dr. Maxoda Kwasante, is positive of enhanced food security under the project.
It is important that we don't just think about yields and monocropping and doing large acreages of rice or maize. We must also think about the environment and our minor crops and our indigenous crops, so that the whole ecosystem runs together and is very balanced for our sustenance and the sustenance of the future generation.
For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
Now, it's been 3 days of building dreams, and today it's raining discounts at the EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair Clinic at the Achimota Retail Center. As the final day rolls on, patrons say the experience has been worth every step, praising the variety, the value, and the expert guidance. Exhibitors are also walking away satisfied, with many saying the expectations have been met and in some cases exceeded. My colleague Jacqueline Ansoma Yeboah was there at today's event and has more.
Welcome to the final day of the EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair happening right here at the Achimota Retail Center, and this afternoon is raining discount. Well, the first day was exciting, second day exciting, and it's after church a lot of people passing through for today, making sure that they get answers to their most sought questions when it comes to housing, when it comes to land, and even electric cars and so on, and even security too. So we'll be engaging a couple of the vendors here and also patrons who are tripping here to make enquiries and also to buy stuff at the third day of the EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair. Here, have you spotted anything so far?
Yeah, so I've been to the solar station and I think I already have some solar installation in my residence and I want to upgrade it. And it looks like the package they are giving is very good. The discounts that they are running now. It's just that you have to make some commitment before 30th of June. So that's the calculation we are doing, but it looks very good.
Sure. Yes. The overview of the Habitat Fair so far?
No, I think it's fantastic. I've never really missed any of the fairs. Usually I go to the one close to me, that's around the Westlands Mall. Yeah. But this time I have some urgent needs, so I decided that I'll follow here. I'm not sure when you are coming to Westlands Mall, so I decided to come here and get whatever I can get.
So far, so good. I like what's happening over here. I do come. I've been to, I think you were at Teshi some time ago, and then another place. I mean, I follow you everywhere, so yeah, when it's happening, I'll be there. Yeah, because I like different things all the time. So yes, I was very interested in the smart home. Yeah, and then these people too can help with their cabinets and stuff. So yeah, that's why I collected it.
Seeing that you've been to a couple of the stands here, what's your overview?
My overview is that I see a lot of stands and they have a good material, good proposition, and I think that is a good event for those who want to build their house. They should come here and look for a partnership or to look for where they can get a good material to build their house. So I think.
Are you about to build a house or?
Me, I'm an architect, so it's my work. So I have a lot of clients that they need some of material to build their house. So I'm coming here to check which material is good for them, because as an architect you have to propose a good work and a sustainable material for the client and less cost, because nowadays some clients they need the good design, good construction, but they want the price should be a little bit low.
Automation Ghana. Now, as a newbie, as part of this year's Habitat Fair, did you have? Would you say that your expectations have been met?
Oh yes, of course. I mean, initially it was quite slow. The response was quite slow, but I think as the day goes by, we get more people coming in to do more requests. So today has been a very busy day for me. As you can see, I'm sweating profusely on my face. Yeah. So thank you so much for this platform to market ourselves and what we sell. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, you just heard that from Automation Ghana. You need to definitely pass by here.
The doors, the front doors, but these metal doors on the second end, Oh my goodness, they're absolutely wonderful because you can protect yourself. And there are a lot of us diasporans who are coming here who are single and older, and we definitely need that additional security.
All right, but I'm pretty sure you are getting them too.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, the clock is ticking, and so are the deals as the curtain closes on the final day. A lot of patrons have few hours to make sure that they ask those questions, make sure that they take advantage of the discounts that have been reigning today and so forth. Well, reporting for Joy News right here at the Machimota Retail Center, I am Jacqueline Ansuma Yeboah.
Well, here in studio, I am Razak Musbao, and that's all we have for you on JoyNews Prime. Please do have a wonderful evening.